Welcome to the 46th Annual Dallas Cup presented by Coca-Cola. This is the 2025 edition of the tournament, and we are thrilled to be bringing you the action from the historic Cotton Bowl in Fair Park in Dallas, Texas. I'm Tyler Kern, joined by Steve Davis. We are here on a beautiful, warm, and windy day from Dallas, Texas. It's spring in North Texas, and that means the Dallas Cup is here. We have a fantastic matchup here between Sao Paulo FC and Newcastle United. It's going to be an incredible matchup here in the Gordon Jago Super Group as we have U19 players hailing from Newcastle and Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's going to be a fantastic matchup, Steve, that I'm really looking forward to.
Well, this is a youth tournament, as we know, but, you know, as you get up into the under-19 and then particularly into the under-19 Super Group, these guys are just on the precipice of being fully professionals, and we know that through the years, teams have brought some guys that have actually made first-team appearances for big clubs like Sao Paulo or Newcastle here. So these guys, these are the real deal. These aren't boys. These are pretty much men.
Grown men out there. We're going to bring you the starting lineups and get to all the action here from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas for the 2025 Dallas Cup presented by Coca-Cola right after this.
This is just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spice Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
And oh Lord. Remember me. I'm the one who had you, baby. Remember me. I'm the one who had you, baby. Gang 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 Remember me. I'm the one who had you, baby. Remember me.
It happened.
We got the house!
You did!
2,000 miles away.
We do long distance moves every day.
With Pods, you don't have to worry about the driving, and that's not all.
Need extra help loading?
Yes.
We got this.
Also might want
More time? We're flexible.
Flexible means you can keep your container longer or store with us. Then we deliver it to your home, across town or across the country.
we made it.
Yeah, you did!
Pods, your personal moving and storage team.
It's the 2025 Dallas Cup from the Cotton Bowl. I'm Tyler Kern alongside Steve Davis. We have Sao Paulo versus Newcastle coming up here momentarily. Starting 11 for Sao Paulo looks like this. In goal, João Paulo Oliveira is their keeper. Felipe Silva is the left back with Hugo Martins and Luis Osorio de Oliveira as the center backs with Igor Felisberto as the right back. Kaike Takada is the left winger with Nicolas Bosshart and Samuel Guimaraes as the center midfielders. Perivan Dos Santos is the right winger, and up top in a 4-4-2 formation for Sao Paulo is Felipe Guimaraes and Octavio Garcia. For Newcastle, they roll out in a 4-3-3 with James Taylor in goal, not the singer, but the goalkeeper. Jake Durant is at left back. Aaron Epia and Henry Johnson are the center backs with Mason Miley as the right back. Jude Cogden is the defensive midfielder with Alex O'Donovan and Frazier Harper in front of him as the two dueling number 8s. Matheus Ferreira is the left winger with Casey Wooster up top as the striker and Kyle Fitzgerald on the right for Newcastle. Sao Paulo is a historic team here for the Dallas Cup. They're the defending Gordon Jago Supergroup champions. They are the 4-time Supergroup champion, but they defeated FC Dallas in the final last year, and they are back once again looking to defend their crown. Newcastle, on the other hand, making their 3rd appearance in the Dallas Cup Supergroup, with previous appearances coming in 1998 and 2003. It's going to be a fun game, Steve, and it's a hot day. Flags are extended because the wind is blowing, but it's a beautiful day here at the Cotton Bowl for some Dallas Cup action.
Yeah, I expect both of these teams, well, the Brazilian team for sure, to keep the ball on the ground. Newcastle United, we'll see if they go a little bit more direct in the older English style. A lot of the English teams now playing with the ball more on the ground, so I don't think the wind's going to be a big factor. We did see it be that swirling wind inside the Cotton Bowl today. We saw it be a factor in the under-19 girls game that got us going today. FC Dallas girls 0-17 playing against the Australian schoolgirls team. So I expect this one to be played a little bit more in control, and it is a hot day though, so we'll see how the teams handle it, particularly the team from the northern stretches of England.
Yeah, not typical Newcastle weather, perhaps, but Newcastle's going to be sporting the blue and red, whereas Sao Paulo is in the white. And like Steve mentioned, the wind is really swirling. You can look down at one flag in the corner and it'll be completely still while the other one is absolutely ripping. Just wild wind out here as we get underway here with the Gordon Jago Supergroup here between Sao Paulo and Newcastle.
And good luck to my play-by-play buddy here, Tyler Kern, reading those Sao Paulo jersey numbers.
We're going to have a fun time out here. Sao Paulo has the ball in the attack. Moving forward, it's going to come over to the right side to Preven Dos Santos. Cross coming into the box. Header quickly, and much like the first game of the day, starting off with a chance early on here in the first minute.
That's the left back getting forward for Sao Paulo to put the header on goal. That's Silva with the early chance. It's you know, these players are very excited to play in this tournament, and we saw it in the first game that the teams were starting very quickly and with a lot of energy, and we'll see how long that lasts in the conditions, but everybody's excited to get going and get the first of 3 preliminary round games underway.
Sao Paulo controlling possession, trying to play the ball down the left side. It's able to be run down, trying to turn the corner, but not allowing him as right back from Newcastle. Carrying the ball through the box dangerously. Newcastle going to come out on the other side of it with a shot and a goal in the second minute. Sao Paulo's going to open the scoring. And I believe that's right back for Newcastle, Igor Felisberto, opening the scoring here in the second minute of the 2025 Dallas Cup.
Well, it was Hugo Martins. I'm sorry, it was the defender for Henry Johnson for Newcastle that did a good job there winning the ball initially, but as he tries to dribble out, he got himself in a heap of trouble there. And you're absolutely right, Tyler. It was Felisberto who was able to pick that ball up and make Newcastle pay for the early defensive mistake. Goal here in the second minute has gotten this one off to a big start.
Very fast start here as Newcastle finds themselves behind very early on here. As now we restart play here in the third minute, and Sao Paulo already with a lead. Playing another ball in behind, and it's going to be another opportunity for Sao Paulo. Coming off of his line to grab it is James Taylor for Newcastle, and very nervy start here for Newcastle as they are already down 1-0. They seem to be a little surprised by the speed of the Brazilians.
I'd say shocked by the speed of the Brazilians.
Ball forward for Newcastle, cleared out for a throw-in for Newcastle. A number of Newcastle's first-team players these days are Dallas Cup veterans, including Anthony Gordon, who played with Everton back in 2017. Newcastle able to retain a little possession here. Ball comes back to Henry Johnson, who plays it across to Aaron Apia. Ball over the top, looking to try to get him behind Sao Paulo. Just not able to be brought down cleanly enough by Newcastle. It's going to go out over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for Sao Paulo. Let me catch my breath.
Yeah, that was a really nice chipped-in ball there from Durant, and you're right. It was Wooster running onto it, but I thought he had a good beat on it, but he just sort of lost control and fumbled it away out for a harmless goal kick.
There on the goal kick, maybe saw another example of how the wind is just going to be tricky for players out here today, as both players kind of misjudged it a little bit. It goes out for a throw for Newcastle, but it was a factor in the first game. We'll see if it continues to be so, especially if Newcastle is going to play more balls over the top like what we've seen early on from them. It'll just be interesting to see who is able to come out on top of the judgment of the flight of some of these passes. Sao Paulo playing it briskly on the turf, though, at the moment. Ball to the top of the box. Chipped ball in is going to come all the way to James Taylor. Going to be collected by Newcastle's keeper.
And if James Taylor's smart, he's just going to hold onto the ball, keep it at his feet for as long as he can, try to settle his team down a little bit, because the Brazilian team, Sao Paulo, they're pressing high. They're aggressive with the ball in terms of not wanting to take a lot of time to establish possession. They're just immediately playing forward and giving Newcastle all they can handle. As Newcastle looking pretty nervy there, bringing the ball out of the back as Durant losing control of it, going out for a throw in for Sao Paulo.
You know, I don't know that anybody excels in playing in temperatures in the high 80s, low 90s, but I would imagine the Brazilian team has a little bit more experience with it than this Newcastle side. But it will be interesting to see if Brazil can keep up this kind of pace for the duration of the 90 minutes.
And it is warmer right now in that part of the world. Is there winter here, is summer there, and Sao Paulo is way down south.
Loose pass there from Sao Paulo. Newcastle looking to play it quickly. Comes into Alex O'Donovan. Plays it back to his left back. Ball now in the box for Newcastle. First real opportunity for them. Player goes down, and a penalty is given early on. And Newcastle with a prime opportunity to level this match, as we have started so quickly. Matheus Ferreira fouled in the box.
Well, Ferreira given a lot of room over there. Nice entry ball into him, and he was able to turn and looked like he was about to line something up, and it was a pretty clear foul to me. Not much of a protest from the Brazilians, and got a lot going on in the first 7 minutes of this one, Tyler.
Well, Casey Wooster now, striker for Newcastle, standing over this penalty, and he'll have an opportunity to level this thing here in the 7th minute. Let me get some electrolytes. This game is already on fire.
Yeah, it is. A Brazilian goalkeeper, of course. 7 minutes in, he's pretty hot and tired back there. Had to take a minute to go get water.
You know,
it's just a little gamesmanship there, obviously. Let Wooster stand over this one and think about it just a little bit longer.
We said they were dang near professionals at this point.
Yep.
Wooster steps up. Oh, and misses it wide to the left. Newcastle missing a prime opportunity to level this match. Wooster getting picked up by some of his teammates, but a huge opportunity missed there by Newcastle, and it remains 1-0 to Sao Paulo.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it again, but I don't think it missed by. I don't think it was a narrow miss either. I think that was just a pretty big miss hit from Wooster.
You know, I think he saw the keeper going to that side and maybe tried to adjust.
Compensate late.
Yeah. But you're right. That was a good 3 or 4 feet wide. Not terribly close. Newcastle trying to press now to win the ball back. They're going to win a throw-in.
Well, it's hot out there, and I don't think the teams will be able to keep the same pace. And boy, we saw sort of a deterioration of quality in the first game during the second half, as the players really did get tired after the break.
That's absolutely right. Newcastle earning a free kick now on the far side from our vantage point. Two players going to be over it. Player who won the penalty, Matheus Ferreira, is going to be one of them. It's going to be an in-swinger coming in. It's going to be easily collected by Sao Paulo's keeper, Oliveira. And another foul in the midfield. This one's going to earn a yellow card. First yellow card of the match issued.
Looks like Jude Cogden got that one.
Jude Cogden, the defensive midfielder for Newcastle. So in the 9th minute, Jude Cogden earning the yellow. We had a 2nd minute goal scored by Igor Felisberto for Sao Paulo. And it's been a fast and furious 10 minutes to get this one underway. Ball put back into play, chipped into the box for Newcastle. Comes back out, 30 yards out. Played over once again to Ferreira. Ferreira earned the penalty. This time plays it back out. And poked away by Sao Paulo. It's Jake Durant is the left back, and Matheus Ferreira, the left winger for Newcastle, that have really combined nicely on that side to try to create some nice moments for Newcastle. And a misplay as the ball gets locked under the feet of the Newcastle defender. Sao Paulo goes the other direction. Loose ball able to be picked up by Sao Paulo once again. Here on the right side of the formation, cross comes in, it's blocked. Sao Paulo looking for another opportunity. This time ball is taken away. And it's the outlet to Ferreira. Ferreira trying to counter quickly. Doesn't have a lot of help with him at the moment. He's going to go it alone into the box. Tries to cut back. Able to do so momentarily. Gets it back out.
Ferreira doing a good job there running the break. Well, I thought they'd whistle for a foul against Sao Paulo, but it's going the other way. Ferreira doing a good job of getting out in front of that one, taking the outlet, the nice outlet pass, trying to get his team going the other direction. He had a couple of runners, central and right. Sao Paulo doing a really good job of just flooding back with numbers and getting back behind the ball.
Ball forward for Sao Paulo now. Newcastle clearing it out for a throw. That was Alex O'Donovan, number 10 for Newcastle. And ball forward once again for Sao Paulo, going to be won by Newcastle. Brought down by Ferreira, taken away from him though. Another whistle. It appears it'll be another foul on Ferreira.
Well, we always talk in this tournament about referees and quality of refereeing in the tournament. Man in the middle today who's been busy so far, Chris Corrado. He's Guatemalan CONCACAF referee.
High quality of match officials here is something that Dallas Cup really puts an emphasis on. Sao Paulo with another opportunity, playing it into the middle, top of the box. This time cleared away by Newcastle. Ferreira trying to get away once again. He's going to earn his team a throw. And a little let off of the pressure here.
I think Newcastle still hasn't quite adjusted to the pace of the Brazilian team. And I think, again, that I'm not sure that the Brazilian team is going to be able to press as hard for the entire 90 minutes, but certainly coming in with the intent of harassing early and up high from high defensive positions.
Long ball out of the back from James Taylor. Cleared out once again by Sao Paulo. Push in the back from Newcastle captain. It's Henry Johnson, the center back. That's going to earn another free kick for Sao Paulo.
And how do you already feel like in the 13th minute that you're seeing the pace slowing just a little bit from that frenetic first 10 minutes?
I think you're absolutely right. As another cross going to come in here from Sao Paulo. Not really cleanly dealt with there by Henry Johnson, the center back for Newcastle, and it'll be a corner kick for Sao Paulo.
Yeah, Henry Johnson needing to get his shoulders and hips turned a little bit earlier there. Quickly taking corner kick from Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, ball towards the back post. The header comes down, misses just wide. There's another golden opportunity for Sao Paulo to try to extend their lead.
Second time we've seen a header from one of the backs. This time off the corner kick, of course, a little bit more typical. But remember that very first early chance was from the left back for Sao Paulo, Silva.
This time it was Luis Osorio de Oliveira, center back for Sao Paulo, with the header at the back post that missed just wide. Long ball now from Newcastle. And it comes down behind the back line of Sao Paulo. And a foul is going to be called on the right winger, Kyle Fitzgerald, for Newcastle. Just a little shove in the back as he attempted to win possession in behind the Sao Paulo back line.
Yeah, I think in a year or two, if either of those players are in the professional ranks, that's probably a fair challenge. But there's a little bit of a lower bar for fouls, and I think you're right. He got a little bit into the back there, not just shoulder to shoulder.
1-0 here as Sao Paulo FC took the early lead in the second minute. Golden opportunity to equalize for Newcastle came in the 7th minute in the form of a penalty kick that Casey Wooster put wide. Sao Paulo getting things started. Once again, good crowd up under the awning across from the press box here at the Cotton Bowl. That's Team Shade. There's a
Team Sun looking pretty strong over there too.
nice group in Team Sun as well, braving the sun and the warm conditions here in Dallas, Texas today. We're thrilled to be out at the Cotton Bowl for the 2025 Dallas Cup presented by Coca-Cola. Coming down the right side. Cross is going to come in, loop well over the goal, and come out the other side of the box where Sao Paulo is going to collect it there as well. Battle ensues there. And a loose pass in the midfield is going to be able to be picked up by the goal scorer, Felix Berto.
Berto is the right back, but he's playing aggressively far forward.
Another cross comes in. This one, again, comes out on the other side of the box. Pass into the middle of the shot, and it's another goal. Sao Paulo makes it 2-0 here in the 16th minute. That cross came in quickly. And it looked like Octavio Garcia is the one who makes it 2-0 here in the 16th minute.
Well, again, Newcastle just looking a little nervy, trying to clear balls, not really taking up good defensive positions, and they got punished for it that time. And they've got to be careful here. They're going to have to get up to the pace of this game really quickly, or this one's going to get away from the Englishman. And it's not going to get any easier as, again, they're just not going to be used to the conditions. What you don't want to do, Tyler, is just play yourself right out of the tournament, in the first game, and it's going to get away from Newcastle if they're not careful.
Look, and the Premier League has a lot of stature, a lot of standing, but you look at some of the players that have come through the Sao Paulo Academy over the years. Got guys like Cafu and Kaká, Oscar. There's another opportunity as Newcastle once again gives the ball away in the back.
Good job there by goalkeeper James Taylor, immediately going over to his defender there, Aaron Apia, and just putting his arm around him, giving the youngster a little pep talk, because everybody back there for Newcastle right now looking a little rattled.
So the Brazilian team has come out on fire, and they have the history in this tournament. They're the defending champions, this Sao Paulo team.
And playing like it right now.
They control in the midfield once again. Newcastle battling hard to win the ball back. Foul's going to be called here on Sao Paulo.
So this is the first game of 3 opening round matches for these two teams. Sao Paulo will be back in action again tomorrow, playing Tigres out of Mexico at the Toyota Soccer Center. That's up adjacent to Toyota Stadium, where FC Dallas plays. After that, get the day off. Then they play Lone Star, the ECNL club out of Texas, to finish up group play. Newcastle schedule is tomorrow they're going to play Lone Star, and then on Wednesday they play Tigres, and they'll have to get it together.
We know Tigres not a team that is a slouch in this tournament either. things get restarted in the back here for Sao Paulo.
Yeah, the super group just chock full of really good clubs from all around the world. Michelin out of Denmark, Rayados from Mexico, Eintracht Frankfurt, Botafogo out of Brazil. These two teams, it's all over the place.
It's a loaded and stacked super group. FC Midtjylland from Denmark defeated Sao Paulo in 2023 in the final. And so Sao Paulo looking to make it 3 consecutive appearances in the final.
I don't know how I failed to mention this one, but Real Madrid also in the super group this year, the Gordon Jago super group.
Provincial club Real Madrid. Well, looking forward to seeing Real Madrid later this evening.
They will they'll be gathered around the TV soon, watching, see if their senior players can overcome a 3-0 deficit in Champions League.
Arsenal took down Real Madrid in the first leg of that tie. With I don't know if
Declan Rice, who had 2 free kick goals, if he was if he's an alumni. We know another free kick taker, David Beckham, is alumni of the Dallas Cup.
Sao Paulo playing it through the middle. Long, speculative effort from outside the box. It's going to go wide. Do you have a memory of watching any particular player that stands out to you, Steve, from your time at Dallas Cup?
I have a memory of a bunch of them, but I remember seeing Bakaya Saka a few years ago. But I was thinking, I think one of the times that Newcastle came through, I could be wrong about this, but I believe they played in the Freddie Adu tournament. And Freddie Adu sort of burst upon the scene. I almost want to say maybe they faced each other in the semifinals that year. So that would have been back around, I believe that was 2003 or 2004.
Right. Pace of the game slowing down ever so slightly, which is probably to Newcastle's liking. But again, it's situations like this where they almost give the ball away in the box again. And a confusion just as Newcastle struggles to play it out from their own defensive third.
Well, that's Henry Johnson. You thought he would have learned his lesson early when he gave away the ball that turned into the first goal.
Ferreira's been the bright spot for Newcastle. He carries the ball forward here, plays it over to Fitzgerald, who cuts in, looking for his left foot. Not able to retain possession, and Sao Paulo goes the other direction.
When I say Newcastle's got to get up to the pace of the game, what I mean is just that it looks to me like some things that maybe Newcastle has been able to get away with back in their homeland, they're not getting away with here because the Sao Paulo team just has pace all over the field. So you got to recalibrate for that.
Yeah, it seems like Newcastle is under pressure before they realize what's going on and have assessed the situation. Able to force a turnover here, but only momentarily as Brazil goes the other direction, and they're spacing behind this Newcastle back line. Felix Berto, the goal scorer earlier, crosses it into the box, misses his attackers, and it's Fitzgerald who's going to go the other way for Newcastle. Wooster's going to need to hold it up and wait for some help. Instead, he loses possession. And that ball, thanks to the wind, is going to get held up, and it's going to be another opportunity for Sao Paulo in the box near the penalty spot, all alone, 1-on-5 in the box right now. Comes outside the box, and a loose touch is going to get away. Ball's scampered back to midfield.
Yeah, you just wonder watching this is if Newcastle here in the tournament against a team that's been here a lot, if they're just a little out over their skis right now, because my heavens, Sao Paulo just having their way right now.
They truly are, and ball's going to come out to Felix Berto. Left-footed cross into the box, back post, headed away by Newcastle.
Impressed so far with Felix Berto, one of the goal scorers, and look, he's a right back, and of course Brazilians have a long history of developing really sensational attacking players in those outside back positions. Felix Berto looks like he might be another one. as soon as his team gets the ball, he releases up high on the right side and really becomes almost another attacking midfielder or right winger up there.
He really does. He's been impressive to watch thus far. Newcastle here again, struggling to play out from the back. Another turnover. Sao Paulo goes the other direction quickly. Little miscommunication. They still pick up possession. It comes over other side of the box, cut back in. Deflected shot's going to go wide, but it'll be a corner kick for Sao Paulo, their second of the match.
Yeah, appeals for a handball as well.
Speaking of Felix Berto, he scored the winning goal in the 2024 Super Group final, and so no stranger to big moments and to scoring goals here, but massive for a right back, scoring the opening goal here today and scoring a winning goal in the final last year. That's a name to remember. Corners played short, cross whipped in towards the back post, headed away by Fitzgerald. Foul on the ensuing touch, and so Newcastle with the opportunity to play it out.
Yeah, Fitzgerald looked like he was going to beat the Brazilian defender to the ball there, and just got Brazilian defender just gave him a little bit extra.
So still waiting a little bit on Newcastle to find their way into this game. You wonder if at some point playing the ball out of the back is not the preferred strategy for the English team.
I mean, it's a tough call because this is a developmental tournament. They want to win the Dallas Cup, but they also want to win things back home, and maybe that's the way they want to play.
Gary Douglas, manager here for Newcastle in this tournament. His counterpart for Sao Paulo, Eduardo Prada. Right back, Mason Wiley plays it forward. It's going to be out for a Sao Paulo throw. And we are going to get a hydration break here in this one, as we are into the 26th minute here of the first half, with Sao Paulo with a 2-0 lead over Newcastle here. Goal in the second minute from right back Igor Felisberto for Sao Paulo. A 7th minute penalty kick went wide for Newcastle, as that's been their best opportunity to get into this one and to equalize. And then in the 16th minute, Garcia was able to double the lead for the Brazilians, and despite the fact that they had a golden opportunity to equalize, I think that would have been flattering for Newcastle thus far into this match, as Brazil has just looked by far and away the better team here for Sao Paulo.
Yeah, the only danger so far coming against Sao Paulo has been Ferreira on the left wing. He's been able to dribble his way into some dangerous spots, and he was the one that earned that early penalty kick that Worcester pushed wide left. But otherwise, just not a whole lot going on there, as Newcastle just struggling to connect the lines. They're really not doing a good job of making that first pass out, finding the midfielders, and a couple of times they've been able to go over the top, but really well organized press from Sao Paulo and high energy. When you can press with organization and high energy, you're going to be really hard to play against, and that's what Newcastle is up against right now, as they're finding out that this Sao Paulo team not only has a lot of talent, but they've got a lot of pace out there as well.
They do. They have been quicker to every loose ball so far, and like Steve mentioned, pressing with organization and with tenacity and speed, and it's a dangerous combination, and the English team looking to maybe get up to speed in this particular match, but especially along the back line, the speed of play and thought has not occurred at a rapid enough level to keep up with what the Brazilian team is throwing their direction right now.
Yeah, you mentioned a while ago that 2024, Sao Paulo defeated FC Dallas in the final. Felisberto was the one that scored that game-winning goal. The year before that, I remember Owen Newkirk and I called the final 2023 Super Group, and Brazil had a great team. Sao Paulo had a great team that year, but they lost in the final to Michelin, that just was able to be very efficient with their chances. You might have said that Sao Paulo might have been the better team that day, but Michelin was just ruthless around goal and ended up nicking the Brazilians. And they remembered it the next year, and they made sure they took care of business in 24, and looks like they've come here for business again this year.
They certainly look like they mean business right now with a 2-0 lead over Newcastle. Tussle for possession there near midfield. It'll come out for a throw for Sao Paulo.
Ticketus is going to be hard in this group as well, and if you're Newcastle, what you want to do now is just make sure you're limiting damage. Don't get behind on goal difference. A second place team is going to go through into the elimination round, so even if you can't finish top of the group, you've got plenty to play for over the coming days.
You see the way that Sao Paulo played out of a little bit of pressure there in the back, just with a lot of speed, a lot of understanding of movement, and able to play out of pressure there quickly and have another opportunity here in the back as ball is poked away from James Taylor, the keeper for Newcastle, but over the end line before Sao Paulo is able to get back on top of it. But a lot of speed, a lot of understanding and positional awareness between these Brazilians and knowing where to expect your teammates to be.
I mean, there's two Newcastle players there, goalkeeper James Taylor and then the center back Henry Johnson, both going for that ball, and yet they get beaten by the Brazilian player. That's just Brazil just has too much speed for Newcastle right now.
This time Newcastle electing to go long out of the back.
And if you're going to go long, you know, what you'd like James Taylor to do is get a couple more players up there maybe.
Newcastle looking a little rushed as they play the ball out of the back, and they once again go long, and it's collected by Sao Paulo.
But as you said a while ago, I think going a little bit more direct, a little bit more often might at least give your defenders back there some time to calm down, and when they do get on the ball.
Sao Paulo breaking through once again, out on the edge of the box, little 1-2. Stop, ball pulled back, miss-hit shot, but it's going to find the feet of a Sao Paulo attacker as he tries to turn. Poked away by Newcastle at the last second. Fitzgerald waiting for help, looking for an outlet. Going the wrong direction, taken away by Sao Paulo once again. The cross going to find an attacker right at the edge of the 6. Shot is blocked, edge of the 18. Sao Paulo finding Felix Berto, but he is offside in this occasion.
They got bailed off that time because they are just absolutely under siege back there. Felix Berto again, we talked about how far he gets forward and how good he is at that right back position. Instantly becomes another attacker, and that's just stacking the pressure on the Newcastle defenders right now. Look, again, this is why the teams come here. You know, they want to develop players, they want to develop their academies, and this is the way to do it. You know, tough games. So that's how you steel yourself. Newcastle players looking a little frustrated right now, starting to sort of chirp at each other.
It's a learning opportunity, playing through some adversity, playing against a style that you don't see very often, perhaps. That was Jude Cogden called for the foul, defensive midfielder for Newcastle, number 3.
Well, it's not just this, it's the style, yes, but it's the speed at which the Brazilians are executing, you know, on the ball, off the ball, with their runs, their thought.
Felix Berto on the ball. We've mentioned his name quite a few times, but he opened the scoring in the second minute of this one. Getting forward down the left side of their formation now is Sao Paulo, taken away this time by Newcastle. Long diagonal, maybe looking for the switch for Ferreira, but just not there.
Yeah, you sort of have to let the attacking player dictate that ball. You know, your right back looks up and wants to make the pass and wants to make that big switching diagonal, and that's okay. But if the attacking player isn't reading it, then it's just a lost opportunity with the ball.
Ball forward, this time cut out by Henry Johnson, center back for Newcastle. Newcastle trying to keep possession. They're going to win a throw-in.
Sao Paulo just so good at closing players so quickly all over the field. Just not letting Newcastle having a moment's peace on the ball.
Played out of pressure this time. It comes back, and it's Aaron Apia, center back for Newcastle, playing it to Ferreira, who's been really the brightest spot on the field for Newcastle. This time, going to get caught in possession a little bit, but fouled from behind. So Newcastle with a free kick opportunity. Pia takes it over to Johnson. Into the middle, Cogden gives it away. Sao Paulo going the other direction again quickly. Looking on the right side, it's going to be run down, and it's going to go out off of Sao Paulo. It'll be a goal kick.
The Brazilians just turned that turnover, that sloppiness on the ball into instant offense so quickly. You saw it as soon as they create the turnover, the pass that goes immediately forward. They're not looking to establish possession. They're looking to immediately go vertical.
And Perivan Dos Santos on the right side has given Newcastle all they can handle. And here's Sao Paulo on the ball again. That ball was looking for Dos Santos in the box. It's cleared out. A couple of Sao Paulo players run into one another. They control possession in the back.
I mean, it just looks like Sao Paulo has 13 players out there.
Felice Berto playing it over to the right. It's Dos Santos. Skips away towards the inline. Cross coming in. Headed away by Newcastle. Newcastle trying to control possession and go the other direction. Ball's going to be won there. Nervy touches in the back. Apia trying to keep possession. It's going to get away from him. Ball's going to be right at the penalty spot. Sao Paulo with another opportunity, another shot. Great save, this time from James Taylor from Newcastle, keeping this one at 2-0.
It was a good save, but it's just fun watching the Sao Paulo team. Again, you know, it's not just the speed. We're talking about the pace of the ball, but they're also right now they're just a lot more physical than the Newcastle team, and they're out muscling them, off, winning balls that way, and that time it took a big save from Taylor to keep this from being a 3-goal lead.
Corner comes in, gets through, but it's going to be deflected off of a Sao Paulo player and out for a goal kick. That time, Aaron Apia just got caught in possession, stepped on the ball and stumbled, fell over.
I just don't think, Tyler, that they're used to being closed this quickly.
That's right.
Harassed, from different angles this quickly, this often. The volume of pressing is just, and the speed of the press is just really bothering them. They just can't get out.
Once again, Newcastle elects to go long on the goal kick. Ball's going to come out to the right side. Fitzgerald's going to run it down there. Gets one touch, but Sao Paulo able to win the ball back. Loose touch there. O'Donovan takes it now, and Fitzgerald out on the right. Has O'Donovan with him.
Really nice job there by the left back, Silva. Looked like initially he was beaten, but again, just uses the speed and the physicality to win that ball back for his team.
Ferreira's pass not able to find Wooster, and it's going to be Sao Paulo in the back once again.
I like Samuel Guimaraes in the middle. He's nice and calm. He understands he's on the ball right now. He understands he's just a conductor. Moves the ball along, gets it into those good attackers. Just like that.
One touch. Doesn't allow Newcastle to get too close to him. And again, in the box, it's going to be another opportunity. Tight angle and cleared out there over the end line for a corner kick from Mason Miley. That was more last-ditch defending from Newcastle, as it's the third corner of the match for Sao Paulo.
38th minute here. I'm sure Newcastle is going to be looking forward to just getting into the locker room, getting themselves settled down a little bit. Back behind the ball, a nice little moment from Felice Berto, sort of putting his arm around Ferreira, the one effective attacker so far for Newcastle. Just having a little chat.
Cross comes into the box. Oh, and it's off the crossbar. The rebound comes down, and it's a third goal for Sao Paulo. We were just mentioning how we thought they might try to white-knuckle it into halftime, but not able to do so. As the 38th minute, the third goal crosses the line for Sao Paulo, and it's 3-0 here in the first half.
Tyler trying to pick out the number for you. The player that just had that ball bounce to him fortuitously at the back post. Easy little stick in there by De Oliveira.
And it's 3-0. As Steve mentioned, it was center back Luis Osorio de Oliveira who makes it 3 off of the rebound off of the crossbar.
And you really wonder now, you start wondering how both teams are going to handle this. Will the Brazilian team elect to keep players out there, get them acclimated to the heat and to the tournament, or will they elect to use a few more subs and get the players rest, understanding that they've got Tigres up next, and that's going to be a tough game for them. That's tomorrow.
Again, pressure in the midfield. Newcastle giving it away. Another opportunity for Sao Paulo. Pass comes back across and just cuts through the box, not able to be collected.
It's interesting, Tyler, because the field there here at the Cotton Bowl is in really great shape. I mentioned the first game, the nonprofit that I run, Pleasant Grove Soccer and Sports, we did a clinic here 2 weeks ago. The field is in immaculate shape, but they haven't watered it today. And, you know, unless they water it, the field can get a little sticky. And that's what we're seeing. The ball get stuck under some feet here and there. And I think it's happened a couple of times to Newcastle players. And
yes.
The problem is, if it gets stuck under your feet when you're in your attacking third, it's okay.
Right.
If you get stuck under your feet when you're in your own defensive third, that's going to be a little bit more of a problem.
Oh, we've got shade now.
We saw it happen most notably to Aaron Apia, and it almost led to a Sao Paulo goal. Sao Paulo coming again, cutting through the lines of the Newcastle defense. A shot's going to come in from the left side of the box. It's going to go through and miss wide as wave after wave of Sao Paulo attacks are crashing against the rocks of the Newcastle defense. And so far, the waves of Sao Paulo are proving to be superior to the defense that Newcastle is able to muster.
Pereira dos Santos was making a run at the back post. He wanted that ball played across and looked a little frustrated at it.
Newcastle playing it out. Ferreira able to earn.
Right now,
free
Newcastle's build-out pattern just a little too predictable as well, and so it's becoming easy pickings for Sao Paulo. They know where the ball, they know where, based on the first pass, where the second pass is going, and they're already there when the second pass arrives.
Makes it really hard for some of these Newcastle players to retain possession just based on individual effort. As Dos Santos dribbles forward, plays it back. Sao Paulo tries the left side, clipped towards the back post, not able to find its target this time.
Yeah, Dos Santos has been lively over on the right side, and that I mentioned again, Guimaraes in the middle. You know, he's not going to get a lot of accolades maybe on a team that they've got players like Felisberto and Dos Santos to score the goals, but just moving that ball along nice and calmly is really important for the Sao Paulo team. There he is again.
Once again, given away out of the back, and as Steve mentioned, Guimaraes so good at keeping possession for Sao Paulo. A shot opportunity here with the left foot. Shot's able to be blocked by Johnson that time. Wooster not able to collect possession. Shot from outside the box is going to go high.
Well, I said the words a while ago, under siege, and that's exactly what it hasn't changed. Newcastle still feeling that. It's been 45 minutes of it. The only relief was that early penalty kick that was earned by Ferreira. That was missed by Wooster at the left post. That was in the 7th minute, but that's really the only joy that Newcastle has seen. Is it's just wave after wave of attack so far from Sao Paulo.
Taylor plays the ball out. Felix Berto clears it back the other direction. It'll go out for a throw for Newcastle.
Well, you said it right a while ago. You know, Newcastle, I'm sure they're hoping, I love the way you put it, they could just white knuckle their way and only go in 2-0 down at the half. And now I think they're trying to white knuckle their way and only go in 3-0 at the half, or down 3-0 at the half.
it has been a rough first half for Newcastle, to put it mildly. And yeah, I think they're holding on for dear life here, just hoping that whatever the current scoreline is, that can be the score at halftime. As a long ball floated forward, not able to find Casey Wooster, the striker for Newcastle, who the only time I can really remember him touching the ball so far has been the penalty kick. And whoa. Little chopped kick at the ball by Alex O'Donovan as it was being held by the Brazilian keeper. I don't know if you saw that. I don't see that very often. Felisberto on the ball, plays it into the middle, and Sao Paulo is going to retain possession here. 44th minute. Little coming together. This time the foul is going to be called. As Henry Johnson went down, center back for Newcastle.
So again, Henry Johnson there, he's just got to attack that ball a little bit. And the Newcastle players, maybe they can figure this out at halftime. They can't wait at all if they don't take the aggressive, first couple of steps toward the ball to try to receive the ball in a place that's just a little bit more comfortable. They're going to get beaten to it. And that time, Henry Johnson got bailed out by a foul, but they've just got to understand that they've just got to be more aggressive and get to the ball a little quicker.
Aaron Apia plays it over to the left side, goes into the middle to Ferreira, carries the ball forward, now plays it out to the right where he's got Fitzgerald. Good little build-up from Newcastle. Ferreira getting into the box over on the right side, tries a cross that's going to find the Sao Paulo keeper who collects it, but it was maybe the best attacking move we've seen from Newcastle in a little bit of time, where they were able to string together a couple of passes and at least make it into the attacking third.
Well, it's interesting because Ferreira picked up the ball just inside his attacking half over here, connected a pass, and then he goes laterally, diagonally rather, all across to the right side, all the way across the right side, ends up getting the cross in. So Ferreira is one player that sort of understands the pace of the game and what's needed out there in terms of speed of play right now.
Ball forward here for Sao Paulo. It's brought down, played over to the left side.
The fourth official is indicated
There's an overlapping run to the left.
Extra time in the first half.
He likes to play it over. Receives the ball back at the end line. Cross makes it in. Ball ping-pongs around. Wooster able to bring it down. And now O'Donovan able to play it out to his left back, who plays it forward looking for Wooster. Wooster not on the same page with his left back, and once again Sao Paulo able to collect.
Yeah, Newcastle players frustrated here, and you can understand why. They're just they're just so few options because they're getting closed down so quickly.
We are into stoppage time here in the first half. Is a busting run from Sao Paulo, and a shot goes just wide of the post, but
Dos Santos again as he gets turned. Nice little turning from the half space in there, about 35 yards out, just immediately bursts forward. He's passing everybody on his way to scuffing a little shot and missing at the far post.
Referee brings an end to the first half. That's Chris Corrado, who's our referee today. And it's a 3-0 lead that Sao Paulo takes into the break here, as they immediately put Newcastle under pressure, and Newcastle has not found a way to really deal with that pressure yet. It's been pretty relentless from Sao Paulo, to put it mildly, and they have been by far the better side. The 3-0 scoreline doesn't flatter them. It has been a 3-0 game up to this point, and so goals from Felisberto, Garcia, and De Oliveira in the second, 16th, and 39th minutes are what bring us to a 3-0 lead at halftime. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about that first half here in just a moment after these breaks.
Our roots in this game run deep. We've been here, hydrating the grind with 50% more electrolytes. But it's time to raise the bar. This is our game, my game, your game, the beautiful game. From the ground up, we power soccer.
I'm so hungry I could eat all the tires off this bus.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits.
You hear my belly growling? Yep. I'm gonna need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger!
At CC's Pizza, dreams come true. But the best part of CC's is you, and you, and you.
Me?
Keep up, Doc. Dive right into my wondrous buffet. When it comes to pizza, you know that I slay. These desserts were made for stacking, like these games were made for whacking. Uh-oh, see ya. Reviews are in, the critics are raving. Even the super specific pregnancy craving. So come feed the band and pull up a chair. CC's the best pizza value anywhere.
This is the 46th Dallas Cup here in 2025 out at the Cotton Bowl. We love this tournament. We love getting to be here for the action. We have an incredible game going on right now between Sao Paulo and Newcastle, and we're looking forward to more action later tonight as we have Real Madrid versus Monterrey. And we're thrilled to bring you all of the Dallas Cup action right here from the Cotton Bowl all day long.
I'm super. This is what I'm made for. Yeah, step aside when it clears the floor. On the mic, I'm ready to soar. Yeah, gonna fight and it's supernatural.
Say hello to your natural superpower. 20 grams of protein, only natural ingredients, and zero added sugar. Try Chobani's high-protein Greek yogurt.
Whataburger, bring back our mushroom Swiss burger. I heard corporate said it's never gonna happen.
Corporate here. We had the bandwidth to circle back on this action item and...
We're aligned. Bringing you grilled mushrooms, melty cheese, and creamy au jus sauce. If synergy like that isn't cool, then we don't know what is. The mushroom Swiss burger is back.
We're bringing back the hits.
What a burger!
not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong woman stumbles, or where the doer or deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the woman who is actually in the arena, so that her place shall never be with those cold and timid souls, who knew neither victory nor defeat.
We're here at the 2025 Dallas Cup at the historic Cotton Bowl venue here as we are watching Newcastle United take on Sao Paulo FC. Sao Paulo with a 3-0 lead here at halftime. And we're celebrating the eyes of the soccer world that will be on Dallas next summer as the 2026 World Cup comes to the USA, Mexico, and Canada. And we're excited about Dallas and the role that it's going to play in the 2026 World Cup.
Say hello to your natural superpower. 20 grams of protein, only natural ingredients, and zero added sugar. Try Chobani's high-protein Greek yogurt.
I'm so hungry, I can eat all the tires off this bus.
When you're on the road, there's a lot of late nights. A lot of early mornings.
Not supposed to say that.
A lot of honey butter chicken biscuits.
You hear my belly growling? Yep. I'm gonna need one of those right now.
And a lot of good times with my band.
What a burger!
This isn't just any burger run. This is a burger run for Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger. 2 fresh all-beef patties with melty cheese, grilled onions, crispy bacon, and sweet and spicy pepper sauce. One for you, one for him, and one for your unofficial roommate, Brad. Always order an extra. You know, for Brad. The all-time favorite sweet and spicy bacon burger from Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Welcome back to the 2025 Dallas Cup here at the Cotton Bowl. I'm Tyler Kern alongside Steve Davis. It's a 3-0 lead that Sao Paulo took into the break against Newcastle United FC. Sao Paulo's speed, press, organization, all causing Newcastle all kinds of problems in the first half, Steve, and it staked them to a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, it's a developmental tournament, and I think Newcastle's got some developing to do, and that's what they're here for. It's it's to get these players experience. And right now, what they're experiencing is a team that's very well organized, the Brazilians are, that they've got a lot of speed all over the field. And Newcastle is going to have to figure out that they've got to up the tempo of thought, the tempo of play, reaching balls. They're getting beat to every ball in midfield. They're getting beat to every ball all over the field, except in their own attacking third, but that's only because they haven't been able to play that many balls into their own attacking third. Sao Paulo, they're the champs right now, and they're looking every bit the part.
That's exactly right. Now, while the Premier League might be the preeminent league on the global stage, Newcastle's trying to become the first English team to win the Gordon Jago Super Cup since Everton in 2016. And so Newcastle here, while the Premier League is a huge household name and Newcastle right there among the Premier League leaders, it's not Premier League teams that come in year out and win this tournament at this age group. It's a lot of teams like Sao Paulo and like some of the Mexican teams that come in and really perform well at this age group and in this tournament.
Well, if you look at the Premier League teams, of course the Premier League is recognized as the best senior league in the world, but if you look at the teams, there's some English presence on all of them, but if you look at the higher level teams, Liverpool is going to be champions this year. They're led by an Egyptian. Of course, Manchester City, all of those years, they're full of Brazilians and Spaniards and one man that came out of Norway that scores a lot of goals. So
a Belgian,
who's leaving soon, Kevin De Bruyne. So the point is that this is what the English teams need right here in order to develop more players out of their academies, out of their own systems, and then promote them up into the senior ranks. Of course, there are plenty of good English players. I'm not saying that. But I think it's safe to say that right now maybe the academies in England are a little bit behind some of those in other countries, including Brazil.
The team's coming back out on the field. It's a warm day out here at the Cotton Bowl. It's a hot one. We'll see if Sao Paulo can keep up the pace that they were playing with in the first half. It was a fast, furious, and frenetic pace, but make no mistake, they were precise. They came in with a plan, and they executed pretty flawlessly in that first half to a 3-0 lead. Newcastle did have an opportunity to equalize in the 7th minute with a penalty kick that Casey Wooster pushed wide of the left post, and wasn't particularly close on that penalty. The goalkeeper guessed the right direction. Maybe it threw him off a little bit, but that was really Newcastle's only opportunity to be in this match. Otherwise, it's been all Sao Paulo, and the Brazilian team coming in and really taking the bull by the horns in this particular game. They're a team that has a lot of history. As we've mentioned before, they're the defending champions for a reason. They come into this tournament with a lot of confidence and a lot of experience in this particular game, and they don't seem daunted too much by the warm weather conditions here in North Texas today.
Well, you asked the question. You said we'll see if they can keep up the pace and the tempo in this half that they set in the first half. I think the question to ask, Tyler, is do they even want to? Or do they recognize that they can take their foot off the gas a little bit, they can conserve a little bit of energy? As I said in the first game, they didn't come here to win the Sunday game. They came here to win the Sunday game and to win everything else after that, which would be 5 games. What's going to happen here is 3 groups in the Gordon Jago Super Group, 3 individual groups of 4, and the top team from each group will go immediately into semifinals. No quarterfinals as the big boys play, but the best second-place team will also go through to the semifinals. That's Friday night out at Toyota Stadium, and so do they want to keep the pace, or do they want to just conserve some energy?
It's a great question as we start the second half. One change that I can tell from Newcastle's team so far, Aaron Apia doesn't come out for the second half for Newcastle. He's replaced by Lesakon Utembip along the back line for Newcastle. So that's number 17, Lesakon Utembip, coming in at center back for Newcastle as we get things started. Long ball out of the back for Newcastle, trying to find Wooster, just eludes him ever so slightly, but he had a little bit of space in behind that Sao Paulo back line. Ball comes over to Takada. Tricks and flicks from Sao Paulo all over the place. Takada plays the ball into the box. It's going to come to the feet of a Sao Paulo attacker. Poked away, and Newcastle's able to evade the pressure for now. Ball played back, and go ahead, Steve.
Here's something else that has to happen for Newcastle. As the players get the ball, the separation around them from other players has to happen faster. They've got to present options a little bit faster, because right now, Newcastle, we saw it in the first half as well. Newcastle gets the ball, they look up, and nobody's open, and that's because Brazilian players are very good about closing down. But they have to immediately separate from defenders and give these guys in the back options to play out.
That's absolutely right, and I think we saw a few times in that first half that Newcastle defenders knew that they had less time than they were accustomed to, which then led to rushing a little bit, making ill-advised passes, stumbling over the ball, and just generally doing things that you wouldn't expect them to do, perhaps, mainly because they were sped up a little bit, both in thought but also in practice by Sao Paulo. And Newcastle again struggling to play out from their defensive third, and Sao Paulo turning them over. Another opportunity top of the box. Yitembeep comes away with it, plays the ball forward, looking at diagonal pass. It's able to find Wooster, who's in an offside position. The flag goes up. Ball rolling once again for Sao Paulo. Interplay, and now big gap in the back line for Newcastle. Sao Paulo trying to exploit it. It's going to come over to the left side. Foul's going to be called, and it's going to be a free kick for Sao Paulo. Just left of center of the middle of the field, and about 36 yards away from goal.
Samuel Gamata is just so good about holding his position, finding the ball, and immediately, just like that time, playing forward, finding the spaces. That time as he plays the ball forward, he helped his team earn a free kick that's going to come at about maybe 35 yards out, almost in the center, a little left of goal.
You have Guimarães and another Brazilian attacker over the ball. Guimarães with the right foot, steps over, left-footed shot, and it's going to find its way to the back of the net. It's 4-0 on the free kick. From about 35 yards out, Sao Paulo has extended their advantage.
Was it one of the center backs that hit it, I believe?
Number 6 for Sao Paulo, Felipe Silva. Left back for Sao Paulo, ends up putting the left-footed shot over the wall, and it looked like James Taylor didn't see it until late and reacted slowly. It wasn't a perfectly placed shot, but it was hit with enough pace just over the wall that it was able to evade the English keeper.
Is there a little bit of pressure on a Brazilian left back to be able to hit a good free kick? Seeing as one of the best free kick takers in the world. Carlos Alberto was played that position for Brazil.
Sao Paulo coming down the right side. Cross is going to go all the way through the box and out on the other side for a throw-in for Newcastle. Goodness gracious. 4-0 Sao Paulo. And Newcastle has not been able to stop the bleeding here in the second half.
Well, that's one that you'd like to see your goalkeeper maybe do a little better on. It was a well hit free kick, but at 35 yards, you'd really like to maybe see him get a little better jump on it. $4-0 now is the scoreline.
Newcastle giving the ball away once again. It's Sao Paulo breaking forward. They're going to have an attacker here in on goal. Lekambib tries to get back, and he's able to do so, deter the shot, and come away with the ball. Long touch, though. Sao Paulo able to reclaim possession over on the right side of their attacking formation. Sao Paulo attacking once again. Ball coming into the box. Loose ball picked up by Sao Paulo. Shot's going to get deflected and blocked, and it's going to go out off of a Sao Paulo player. And it'll be a goal kick for Newcastle.
Goalkeeper João Paulo Oliveira for Sao Paulo. Pretty lonely so far this half. I don't know that. I'm not sure Newcastle's had a touch in the attacking half just yet, have they? Worcester that one time when he was called offside.
Ferreira once again kind of trying to be a one-man attack for Newcastle, but just not enough joined up thinking here from the English side, and Sao Paulo on the ball again. And I think you're right, Steve. I can't remember an attack and a touch on the attacking half of the field for Newcastle just yet. Might be able to get one here as ball goes out for a throw for Newcastle.
We'll see.
They go backwards with it and give the ball away again. And Sao Paulo on the ball. Sao Paulo able to advance it. Takata playing it forward. And another cross able to be lifted in. This time deflected away. And it will be a corner kick for Sao Paulo.
That time it was Durant that didn't really have a good body shape there as he tried to deal with that cross. He almost turned it into something disastrous. Sort of had to go with his incorrect foot there as he was facing back his own goal. You like to see those defenders as quickly as possible get their hips and shoulders turned.
Corner kick comes in. Poor clearance from Newcastle. Goes back to the keeper. Everything getting slowed down here by James Taylor before he rolls it out. Long ball forward from Newcastle, directly to a Sao Paulo player. A couple Newcastle players converge, Worcester and Fitzgerald, but a foul's going to be called. And a card's going to be issued to Casey Worcester.
I'm not sure what I saw. Did I see what he did that drew the ire of the referee from Guatemala?
Chris Corrado, goalkeeper from Guatemala.
Guess he just got a little reckless in the challenge. Tyler, I can tell you, this venue for the young men from Sao Paulo, this Cotton Bowl venue, it's still held in regard, in some regard down in Brazil, because this is the side of the 1994 classic quarterfinal. Brazil beat the Netherlands 3-2. It was a terrific game. And I know it's still a place that Brazilians know about, because last year during the NBA Finals there was a media crew here from here to watch the NBA Finals from Brazil, and they came out just to do a story about the Cotton Bowl and talk about how everybody in Brazil knows about this place, and because of that famous game. Of course, Brazil went on to win that World Cup, but they had to survive that quarterfinal to get there.
It's an incredible story, and just fantastic to learn about the memory that people have, and the long-lasting memories people keep of a place that means a lot in the soccer history of a soccer-rich location like Brazil.
I believe it was Bebeto that scored, maybe the winning goal. He certainly scored one of the goals and did the sort of a famous, he did Rockin' the Baby tribute as celebration. People still remember that. Of course, Dallas is about to be large and in charge again in World Cup, as 9 games will be played out at AT&T Stadium. It will be called during the tournament something different. FIFA doesn't allow those sponsorships, so it'll most likely be called Dallas Stadium. 9 games, more than any other venue to be held here in North Texas, including a semifinal. Cotton Bowl Ride Hero, I'm sorry, Tyler. Cotton Bowl Ride Hero will be a training site as well.
It should be incredible to be in a place that is playing such a huge role in next summer's FIFA World Cup.
This place also known as a place where the ground is always going to be in fantastic shape. It is again today. Back when the Dallas Burn played here, later to be named FC Dallas, it was known as easily the best ground around Major League Soccer.
Corner kick for Newcastle, opportunity at the back post, and it's going to be headed wide, but that's the first maybe shot Newcastle has taken since the penalty kick in the 7th minute.
Yeah, I think so. Henry Johnson there, he was responsible for giving the ball away on the very first early Brazilian goal, but that time snuck around to the backside and got a pretty good header attempted goal. He likes to see him put that one on frame.
You know, he has a pretty long and free run at that one, and like you said, you would like to maybe see him put that on frame given the opportunity that he had there at the back post, pretty much unmarked. Sao Paulo going to give the ball away. Here it'll be a throw-in for Newcastle.
And you just wonder now as we get into the hour if Sao Paulo is just maybe there. I don't want to say they've lost interest, but maybe they've lost a little bit of focus and intensity. It's hot out there. They're well in charge of this match.
They're well in charge, and even if they've taken their foot off the gas a little bit, it hasn't been as though Newcastle has shown an ability to
take advantage
and create too much danger, honestly, as Sao Paulo comes through the midfield once again, fouled from behind.
The Newcastle players are a little frustrated at it. That's Alex O'Donovan that was called for the foul. Back behind the play, one of the Newcastle players down. I think is that Wooster? No, it's I believe that's Fitzgerald.
Kyle Fitzgerald, right winger for Newcastle. He's been an active player and been one of the players that Newcastle has tried to build out from the back, using quite a bit.
You know, Tyler, it's no surprise that Sao Paulo is here and so successful at the Dallas Cup. They've got one of the best academies, most successful academies in Brazil. We know players like Cafu and Kaká have come through there, Oscar and Milson, Lucas Moura. Some of those players won Supergroup titles with Brazil and Sao Paulo in '95 and 2009.
It's a historic team, you know, and like you said, a lot of talent has come through that academy over the years.
And look at the teams they've won. They've beaten in some of these finals. '95, they beat the AC Milan Academy in the final. In 2007, they defeated the Chelsea Academy in the final. Beat the Vancouver Whitecaps in the final in 2009, and FC Dallas last year to win their 4th Supergroup title.
FC Dallas has their own history in the Supergroup here as well. So it's this is a Sao Paulo team that knows their way through the Dallas Cup, that is for sure. As Sao Paulo looks to make their first change of the match. Felipe Guimaraes, one of the strikers, coming off.
A substitution has occurred.
Coming on is going to be Cassio Neto.
Leaving the match is number 9, Felipe Guimaraes. Entering the match is number 13, Cassio Neto.
So Guimaraes out, Neto in. Sao Paulo makes a sub. Again, 4-0 here in favor of Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo still on the attack. Great ball into the center of the box. Flicked back, and it's going to be a shot, and it's going to be another goal.
That's Dos Santos. He's been a live wire.
Dos Santos has been all over the place, and in the 61st minute, he makes it 5-0 Sao Paulo.
Tyler, he got all that started, breaking down to the defense with some more of his crafty dribbling right in the middle. Quick little combination, gets the ball back. Makes no mistake with that right-footed finish from just inside the penalty area.
That was a rocket from Dos Santos, and like you mentioned, Steve, he's been all over the place throughout this game and creating a lot of danger no matter where he is on the field.
He, Felisbertos, Samuel Guimaraes, Probably the best for. It's difficult to say because so many good ones out there, but probably the best so far for Sao Paulo. I'm sure the goalkeeper's very good too. We'll just never know.
We'll never know. I bet he's good with his feet because
they'll have harder games.
Yeah, they will. They will. Newcastle just not able to keep pace with the Brazilian side as they make a sub now. Coming out for Newcastle is Matheus Ferreira, who has been maybe the brightest spot for this Newcastle side. Coming in is Guy Bloomer.
And you just wonder if that's strategic and making sure that their best attacker for Newcastle is available for the games tomorrow against Lone Star Soccer Club, and then that's out at Richland College. Wednesday against Tigres, and they'll need to win those if they want to get into Friday night semifinals.
That's exactly right.
Those semifinals out at Toyota Stadium.
Another loose ball picked up by Sao Paulo and an open chance missed.
Newcastle again having trouble getting out of the back, and Newcastle now in this moment lucky to be not be down 6-0.
Number 6, Matthew Taylor. Leaving the game is number 8, Fraser Harper. Also
I mentioned several times that the speed and the physical play of Brazil is really bothering Sao Paulo. And you do sort of wonder how much of that is just that the Newcastle players, it's hot out there and they're just not used to it, and you just don't have the same kind of energy.
It's a great question. I mean, it is a warm day, and
it's warm in the press box right now.
It is,
and we're in the shade.
We're inside in the shade.
We're not out in the sun, so
that's right.
We're not running around.
You and I are both Texans, Steve. We're both born and raised. We understand what it means to play in this kind of weather.
To suffer in the sun.
That's exactly right. But even with that being the case, as Fitzgerald takes it down the right side, even with that being the case, it doesn't mean that I would be excited to go out and play in heat at this level.
I would for the first 7 minutes.
But if you're down 1-0 within the first 2 minutes,
it makes it a lot harder.
Takes a little bit of air out of it.
Takes some of the enjoyment out.
You know, we've all played in games where you feel it really early on that you're overmatched, and
it ain't no fun.
It's not a lot of fun.
But you see here what's going on. Look, now the Brazilian players even starting to cramp a little bit. It is a really warm day down there, and I would have to think the hydration break's coming up here soon,
if not imminent. And it looks like
maybe they just take it right now.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's making their way over to the bench area in a 5-0 match here in the 64th minute. Sao Paulo 5-0 lead over Newcastle. And sometimes you see 5-0 matches, score lines of 5-0. And there's some fluky goals. There's a bad bounce here and there. The game just gets away from one team. This is not one of those matches. Sao Paulo's had their foot on the gas and had Newcastle under duress.
Literally since the second-minute goal.
Yeah.
By Felisberto.
It's been hard to find a moment to take a deep breath during this match.
Felisberto, the right back. We haven't seen him be quite as involved in the second half.
Look at the position he takes up here on the restart, though. It's so high. He's the highest player on Sao Paulo's team in the formation, and he's the right back.
Yep.
Another ball finding its way to the Newcastle back line. Johnson sees it out for the throw. But the heat map of this one would almost certainly show that the entirety of the match has been played in Newcastle's defensive half of the field, and a vast majority of that more than likely in Newcastle's defensive third, whether they're trying to play out of pressure or trying to withstand another Sao Paulo attack. It has been an impressive showing from the Brazilian side. As Booster trying to play the ball forward, looking for O'Donovan, just too much on that pass. It's going to go over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for Sao Paulo, who...
Nice job there by Jude Cogden, midfielder for Newcastle, who's also looking to be cramped. Looks like he's cramping a little bit, but nice job there of turning out of traffic. And you know, the thing is, when you're down 5-0, the game is lost as another Newcastle sub prepares to come in here. But what you're looking for is, you know, individual moments, have some individual success, figure some things out, and then move on to the next one, learn some lessons, move on to the next one.
Caden Lucas coming on for Newcastle. Looks like he comes on up top in more of a striker role.
Is Wooster out?
Looking for him and don't see him out there now.
I believe it might be Wooster that came out.
That seems correct.
And again, you wonder if is he tired, or is this Newcastle sort of acquiescing and saying let's save the guys for the next two.
Right, save some legs.
Because again, you know, they're going to be out on the field in less than 24 hours. And it's going to be a warm one again tomorrow.
That's exactly right. I was pulling up the forecast as we speak. High of 88 tomorrow.
Yikes.
In North Texas. So back-to-back warm, sunny days here for the Dallas Cup here in 2025.
I mean, I don't know about you, but 88 sounds great to me if you're on a patio.
That's exactly right.
It's going to be fine. You know, again, dealing with heat, you know, sort of recalibrating how you played, how you manage the game, how you manage yourself. That's all part of it. It's all part of the learning process. Newcastle, look at this. You get a corner kick.
Corner kick for Newcastle. Ball going to the back post, eludes everyone, and going to go over the end line for a goal kick. Sao Paulo continuing their substitutions. Henrique Bell comes in.
Looks like Henry Johnson at the back post, center back, getting forward for Newcastle. Looks like he was the target on that one. The ball from swinging in from the right side, from the left footer, was just overcooked a little bit.
Henry Johnson looks every bit the prototypical English center back.
He does.
Ball forward once again, and here comes Sao Paulo. Good work there by O'Donovan, sealing off that play, able to win the ball back for Newcastle. Newcastle trying to play the ball forward and elect to play it out for a throw-in.
You know, I think one of the most important lessons a team like Newcastle, Sao Paulo too, but they can get out of this when you play at a high level. Little details matter so much, and you know, watching Henry Johnson as he retreats back and gets into defensive position, he's still looking at his own goal. And you know what you want to do is just get yourself turned and do a little step over move that they teach now, and make sure you've got your body shape in the right place to deal with crosses. And it's just a little detail, but that's what you learn here. The details are certainly going to matter. Otherwise, you're on the wrong end of 5-0.
Which is where Newcastle find themselves, as that long switching ball makes its way over to Felix Berto, who misjudges it a little bit in the air. Maybe the wind got a little bit of that one. Goes out for a throw-in.
And Felix Berto just kicked the ball away, and he really needs to be careful. I mean, 5-0 game, you don't want to get a yellow card and then end up getting another one and having to sit out for a semifinal game that they're going to need him and need his quality out there.
That's exactly right. They won't all be 5-0 thrashings. Most likely. Foul committed here by Sao Paulo. Newcastle takes it quickly. Back over to Henry Johnson, center back. We've been talking about it a little bit for Newcastle. And given away once again. It's going to be another opportunity for Sao Paulo. Shot from outside the box. Very high over the goal this time.
Jude Cogden caught with the ball there, not checking his shoulder, not scanning. Didn't understand that there was pressure coming, gave the ball away, turns into another opportunity there for the Brazilians.
Like you mentioned, there's opportunities here to learn from those sorts of things, those sorts of fixable things where maybe you're able to get away with something like that in the academy system in England, but here at the Dallas Cup, it's just going to be a learning opportunity for some of these players.
I will say, the defender, the center back that's come in for Apia, Utem Beep, looks pretty good. He looks like he looks very calm back there.
He has looked very composed so far for Newcastle. It's, offside flag goes up. 71st minute here, the 2025 Dallas Cup. Sao Paulo has a 5-0 lead over Newcastle, and it's been all Sao Paulo for the entirety of the match. Maybe a little frustration there as a foul. It's committed by Caden Lucas, and he receives a yellow card.
Just into the match, he's not wasting any time to make an impact, even if his impact is a yellow card.
Much like the striker he replaced, he's now in the book of Chris Corrado, our Guatemalan referee today, man in the center of the field.
Here comes the official hydration break. Gives us a chance to remind everybody that matches in all age divisions, boys and girls, going on over the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Matches are going to be played all across the North Texas area at Toyota Stadium, actually at Toyota Soccer Center. And then later, some of the elimination matches and finals will be at Toyota Stadium. Also being used at MoneyGram Park out in Northwest Dallas, and then the Dallas College at Richland campus. That's over in Northeast Dallas. Also, this year they've added another complex, Tyler. They're going to use the Ross Stewart Soccer Complex. That's named after a guy who meant a lot to soccer around here in the 80s and 90s. Ross Stewart, good guy, soccer lover who always wore big, as I recall, always wore a big cowboy hat.
I love that. Big cowboy hat would be more than welcome out here today. You need a little bit of shade. If you can create it for yourself, it's wonderful. But as Steve was mentioning, a full week of fantastic Dallas Cup action. Coming up after this match, we have the water parade of teams and opening ceremonies here at the Cotton Bowl, brought to you by Whataburger, with 2 gigantic inflatable styrofoam cups on either end of the stadium, just reminding us that...
Reminded me of a milkshake, and it makes me want a big vanilla milkshake. It's what it looks like.
That's what I'm talking about. Hydration break over. We are back underway as we hit the 74th minute. 74 minutes of domination from Sao Paulo so far, as it is 5-0 out here at the Cotton Bowl. That's how we say it in Texas, 5-0.
Yeah, I noticed Country Tyler crept in here for a second.
Yeah. Unintentional, but sometimes you can't hide it.
5-0 is 5-0 to Dallas Cup.
5-0. It is Dallas Cup.
And here's where we start to ask the question: what's the matter with Sao Paulo? Because they haven't scored 12 minutes, Tyler.
Oh, it's a drought. That's what we call a drought.
Dos Santos with the most recent goal in the 61st minute. Dos Santos doing a lot of damage on the dribble today, and in combining. And this is unnecessary from Brazil. I told you a minute ago, this is where they can learn some lessons too, because they just got a little talking to from the Guatemalan referee, Chris Corrado, about delaying restart. And if you're Sao Paulo right now, you're just saying mission accomplished for day one, but you don't want to take silly yellow cards that might affect you for later in the tournament.
And given the rules of the game, Chris Corrado would have been well within his rights and power as a referee to issue a yellow card in that case. And you're right. It's a learning opportunity, and it's a chance to say, in a 5-0 game, there's no reason to do something that could well land you in the referee's book when this game has been done and dusted for a good while now. Newcastle earning the throw. Back over to Johnson. Johnson up the right side. There's a runner in front of him. Likes to go into the middle. Fitzgerald driving forward now for Newcastle. On his left foot, takes the shot straight at goalkeeper João Paulo Oliveira.
He had runners left and right there. Liked to take the shot. Hit a pretty good one. Just hit it right toward Oliveira, and I think that's the most he's had to do all day.
Outside of the penalty, another shot from just outside the box gets deflected off of a defender from Newcastle. A little bit more cramping out there for Newcastle players, but it'll be yet another corner for Sao Paulo.
It's interesting, back behind the play, the coach having a word with his goalkeeper there, and I'm not sure what the coach wanted his keeper to do, but Keeper sort of throwing his hands up as if to say, I thought I did what we should have done there.
Coach may be saying, hold on to the ball for another 5 seconds or so.
But I really like that. You know, again, they didn't come here to beat to conquer Sunday. They came here to conquer the week.
That's right.
They'll play 2 more and then off to the semifinals if they can manage out the matches against Tigres coming up tomorrow and Lone Star coming up on Wednesday. Then they'll find themselves not surprised at all if they find themselves in Friday night semifinals out at Toyota Stadium. Looks like there's some more cramping here from Newcastle players. I don't think it's anything more serious than that.
No, as soon as the ball went out of play, that player went down. Haven't figured out exactly who it is for Newcastle just yet. But as we've mentioned throughout the game, temperature now in the low 90s, 91 degrees. And even on a hot day in Newcastle, I don't know that it gets to 91.
Cramping and sunburn, a big danger today.
I hope the Newcastle players packed some sunscreen. I hope everyone packed sunscreen. It's good for you.
Do they sell sunscreen in Newcastle?
Whew, that's a good question.
They sell it here. I don't know if they sell it there.
Go to the hotel gift shop. They have it there, I bet. I would imagine so.
Referee's calling for the stretcher, and I think the stretcher team is falling asleep.
All FC Dallas teams participating in tonight's parade, please make your way to the parade staging area in Lot 12A. Again, all FC Dallas teams participating
The Brazilian
in tonight's parade,
players
please make your way to the parade staging area
wanting the referee to
in Lot 12A.
get on with it, and the referee having to tell them we're trying here.
Stretcher getting driven onto the field from the tunnel end.
Clubs from Brazil, always a big part of this tournament. They have won a record 13 Supergroup championships since that lead bracket was formed back in 1990. Although it's been a little while since a team other than Sao Paulo has won. I believe Coritiba back in 2015 might have been the most recent non-Sao Paulo team to win. Atletico Paranaense, Corinthians, Vitória, Cruzeiro, and of course Coritiba and Sao Paulo all having won championships.
Players up now, walking off the field for Newcastle. So Dallas Fire and Rescue Stretcher will need to. Oh, he's sitting in the. He's riding shotgun, and they will drive him off to the side. That looked to be left back Jake Durant for Newcastle. He's being driven off the field now. So Sao Paulo will get us back underway with a corner kick. Durant's going to be substituted for. It's going to be Noah Morgan coming in at left back for Newcastle as play is set to resume now. Corner kick comes in, headed away by Johnson. Headed back into the box. And Newcastle keeper James Taylor is able to collect.
Noah Morgan. Leaving the field is number 18, Jake Durant.
Johnson out to the right. Right back, Mason Miley.
One of the reasons it's been so hard for Newcastle to play out of the back is they have trouble again. Might be able to escape this one. It's just so predictable. It's goalkeeper to center back who's not really out wide, and center back his first option is out to the outside back. And so as soon as Sao Paulo players long ago sniffed out that as soon as that center back has the ball, he's not looking to play centrally. He's looking to play out wide, and so they can trap out there. And it's been an issue all afternoon. But again, it's a learning experience.
What it will be interesting to see if Newcastle are able to adapt to this if other teams recognize Newcastle's tendencies as far as building out from the back. As another turnover here, and Sao Paulo will have another opportunity just outside the box. Cutting forward now. A little bit of dancing, and the ball is going to end up out over the end line. It'll be a corner kick for Sao Paulo, as Nicholas Bosshart was the one trying to wiggle his way through the Newcastle defense that time.
In the 82nd minute, you sort of wonder if referee Chris Corrado will actually apply all of the time that should be applied, or if he'll just recognize that everybody would like a little break on this one.
That's a great point, as there figures to be a decent amount of stoppage time if he plays all of it. Newcastle able to bring the ball forward this time, getting across midfield. Then a foul is committed.
Jude Cogden just has to, again, Brazilian players kicking the ball away. Jude Cogden just has to recognize that he's got to get the ball off his foot a little bit quicker there.
Itembeep playing the ball for Newcastle. It's going to come into the middle where Sao Paulo takes over. Give and go in the midfield. Player open on the left side, not quite able to get him the ball. And Newcastle's going to regain possession. It's Henry Johnson in the back now for Newcastle.
If you are participating,
Paulo, look at the lines right now. Just glued together really well. Team's not stretched out at all, so it makes it really hard to play through.
Again, please make your way to the parade staging area in Lot A.
Getting reminders in the stadium that the water parade for all of the participants in this year's Dallas Cup is coming up after this match. Foul committed here by Newcastle, so Sao Paulo will get us started once again here as we reach the end of the 83rd minute and enter the 84th. It's 5-0 Sao Paulo. 3 first half goals, 2 second half goals for the Brazilians, and not much to speak of for the English side.
Tyler, through the years we talked about some of the true legends of the game, Andrea Pirlo and Raul and David Beckham, that have played in this tournament. But I'm thinking about more recently guys like Alphonso Davies, one of the best players at CONCACAF right now, the Canadian left-sided, left-back, left-sided attacker, whatever you see him as. Bukayo Saka for Arsenal right now. Weston McKennie came through this tournament, one of the players that the United States will be depending on in next year's World Cup. Been a starter a long time for the United States under Berhalter and now under Pochettino. Of course, he's from around here. Came through the FC Dallas Academy.
A lot of really talented players over the years, and as you mentioned, the U.S. men's national team players like Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey, Michael Bradley have all come through this tournament as well, and so foul committed here, and a yellow card going to be picked up by Mason Miley. Right back for Newcastle going into the book. Just kind of a wild kick out at the ball. Caught more of the Brazilian player than he did the ball, and goes into Chris Corrado's book.
It's hot. They're getting whooped. It's frustrating, but you still got to keep it cool out there. And again, it's even though these are young men, some of them about to be offered professional contracts, you still they're still a youth tournament. Oh, nice dummy! Still a learning experience for everybody.
Absolutely. Deflected ball going to come over and be played out by Newcastle. Ball forward by O'Donovan.
Just so impressed by the efforts of the Brazilian, even though they're well in control. They're so quick to retreat into defensive spots. Once they get beat, they just use that speed and they recover.
It's been a really impressive performance all over the pitch today for Sao Paulo. Another rash challenge and another player going into the book for Newcastle.
That shoots him beep.
Just coming in a little bit late after a pretty heavy touch that he took.
Coming in hot, too.
Hot. Entering the 87th minute now here at the Cotton Bowl. 5-0 lead for Sao Paulo, who is seeing out the end of this one, just trying to ensure that
A yellow card has been issued
there are no
to
injuries
Newcastle player number 17,
and
Second
no cards and no further damage in this one.
Yeah, it seems to be happening between the players, too. So, you really hope everybody just keeps their cool. And I know that I recognize the irony of telling people to keep their cool when the temperatures are in the 90s. The player that went off a while ago for Newcastle, who's still sitting in the shotgun seat at the Dallas Fire Department buggy. They just parked him over in the only shade available, which is the giant Whataburger cup.
Find me in the shade of the Whataburger cup. Also an immensely Texan thing. Sao Paulo coming through once again, straight down the heart of the pitch, cutting onto his left foot, deflected away. Henry Johnson's going to be able to clear this one.
It's what you call a no-nonsense clearance.
No-nonsense clearance indeed. He then encourages his teammates to move further up the pitch and bring that back line forward a little bit, but back Sao Paulo comes once again, as they have relentlessly throughout this game. Newcastle able to win possession. Sao Paulo gets it back.
Look, every time Newcastle gets the ball, it's just a swarm. They're just hunting in packs. The counter press, really impressive from Sao Paulo.
Sao Paulo, a little switching ball over to the left, intercepted by Newcastle, but it would be Sao Paulo that ends up with it. Sao Paulo just outside the box. Foul going to be on Henry Johnson. And Sao Paulo with an opportunity to make it half a dozen here in the waning moments of this match out here.
You know, as we watched the earlier game today from the Cotton Bowl, the girls division getting started, the Australian girls team. Chloe Murray was the center back whose name we just called over and over and over again because she was just so good for the Aussies. We called Henry Johnson's name a lot today too, but he's just having a tough time out there. He's one of those guys that seems to be around the action a lot.
He is.
Sometimes for the better and sometimes not. So now he's given the Brazilians a chance to extend their lead on a free kick that's almost exactly where you would want it, right at the top of the D. So that gives you about 22 yards, just the perfect distance to maybe get it up and down over that 5-man Newcastle wall. So we'll see.
We've seen Sao Paulo score from one of these earlier today. It's going to be the left foot and just miss wide.
We got it up and down. He just didn't get the accuracy on it. As we get now into the 90th minute.
90th minute here at the Cotton Bowl. 5-0 lead for Sao Paulo over Newcastle. Newcastle, again, just it's the same thing. It's you could put a lot of this game on repeat. Newcastle, again, struggling to play the ball out of the back, but doing the same thing that we've seen for 90 minutes now.
Yep. Just a little too predictable.
O'Donovan losing the ball for Newcastle. Newcastle able to scramble and get it back. Cogden playing it back to his back line. As the 90 minutes is just about up. Waiting for the official to let us know 3 additional minutes here. 3 additional minutes. Sao Paulo on the ball here, Steve.
I would say that's pretty merciful.
I would agree.
The referee could have added a little bit more. Goals, injury stoppages, hydration break, unofficial hydration break.
We needed
Dallas Fire and Rescue cart on the field.
That's right.
Yeah. 3 minutes seems reasonable. You know, they tell referees as you get into that business, sometimes just use your common sense.
Sometimes that's what it takes. Big coming together in the center of the field. Cogden is down for Newcastle, holding his leg. Looked like he went over the top of the Sao Paulo player. Couldn't quite catch who that was for Sao Paulo. Cogden's back up on his feet slowly.
I think I'm just going to run down with just the camera.
That should be about 120 seconds or so left in this one.
Johnson plays it back to his keeper. High lofted ball out of the back. Cogden with a missed kick. It'll be Sao Paulo on the edge of the box. One back by Newcastle. Here in the waning moments, the opening game for both of these teams here in the Gordon Jago Super Cup at the Dallas Cup. Gordon Jago Super Group here at the Dallas Cup.
You're doing great.
The Dallas Cup brought to you by Coca-Cola, I should add. Sao Paulo just content to maybe take the air out of the last few moments of this one. Keep possession and see out a tidy and
comprehensive, I would say.
I would say comprehensive, yeah. 5-0 victory here over Newcastle.
Newcastle team that'll take some lessons from this one and probably benefit.
Ball over the top through the back of that Newcastle back line. Don't believe he was able to get there before it went over the end line, but it's going to be a corner kick for Sao Paulo. What figures to be one of the last actions here of this match. As we get ready for the Wada Parade procession with all the participants in this year's Dallas Cup. As cross comes in.
And we get ready for Riados and Real Madrid. Real Madrid.
We're both doing great.
Yeah.
Looks like a foul gets called here. Real Madrid coming up next after the parade. That'll wrap up our opening day of action. And there's the final whistle from Chris Corrado. 5-0 comprehensive victory for Sao Paulo over Newcastle.
Started early. Felispirito, the really good right back for Sao Paulo, scored in the second minute, and it was just game on from there. Very little joy on the Newcastle side. 7th minute penalty kick, even then, no joy. That was missed wide left by Worcester. The left-sided attacker Ferreira for Newcastle made a moment here and there, but otherwise it was all the team from Brazil, the champs, looking every bit like they're here to get the business done again in 25.
The defending champs come out like they mean to finish, and they looked serious here in this match out here today at the Cotton Bowl. A 5-0 win, goals from Felisberto, Garcia, De Oliveira, Silva, and Dos Santos for Sao Paulo lead to a 5-0 victory, and again, the defending champs looked quite good in doing so. That's going to do it for Steve Davis and myself, Tyler Kern, here for this match as the stands are filling up on the opposite side of the field. The parade is about to get started. We'll be back with Monterrey versus Real Madrid at 6:30. But until then, enjoy the parade, and we will see you again soon.